We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners.
Quick, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and guys, we are here to bring you guys a fun-filled show. Before we start all that stuff, we have some important messages to get off of our chests. But let me ask the fellas how you guys doing first. Wayne, what's going on up there, man? Hold on, wait. Let me see if I get this right. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
What you doing up there, bro? What's up, man? What's up, Wayne?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good though, but I'm a little torn right now. So I'm just trying to hang in there and just trying to educate and enlighten people and keep everybody's spirits up, man. The world is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. And I'm just trying to live and enjoy life with my family, man. So I'm trying to keep everybody's spirits up. Nick, how you doing, man?
Wayne, man, you said it, man. I'm doing good.
I did it right.
What's going on?
Chilling, man.
Like, look, man, you're right, man. It's just this world, man, you know, is getting crazier and crazier by the minute. As if 2020 wasn't bad already to start. I mean, this goes back years and years. You know, today, I believe today or yesterday was the 4-year anniversary of when Colin Kaepernick first knelt. And, you know, Roger Goodell stated, I wish we would have listened to him sooner. You know, whether I believe that or not, you know, that's a whole different story. But right now, athletes all over the world are showing that, you know, this is bigger than sports. This is bigger than anything that we've ever faced in our generations, right? Obviously, our age is not our ancestors and people like that. But, man, you know, look, guys, your voice matters. So speak up. You know, whatever you can do, speak up. You know, I pray for everybody out there, no matter the color of their skin. It's just every life matters, right? And you see my background, Black Lives Matter, because that's what I'm sticking with right now until something is done. Social injustice needs to be taken care of, and we need to speak and use our platforms. And, you know, that's exactly what I'm going to try to do, just like athletes all over the world. I'm going to use my voice, use our platform, and I'm going to speak it into existence as long as we possibly can.
Yeah, you guys are nailing it. And the only thing I'm going to add to that is to the people out there saying that stopping sports isn't going to make a difference, protesting doesn't make a difference, right? I just want to draw this line for you guys, right? One upset person, one social injustice. The reaction is a protest. It's peaceful marches, right? And this has been going on since forever in this country, right? But for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to make a difference until violence and losses start occurring. I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm saying that's when people's eyes start to wake up, right? We celebrate and we study this Boston Tea Party in the history books, right? But what was the Boston Tea Party? That was a riot. That was looting and destruction of someone else's property to send a message. But because we were on that side in history, it turns out that it's celebrated, right? So this is going to offend you if you're not on that side. You're going to start to see that it makes a difference, right? A buddy of mine is texting me and he's saying, what if that was your small business? And I told him, I said, let them burn it. I'm insured. Most small businesses are suffering right now during COVID because they can't afford to pay everybody. The income is lowered, right? So if you're insured, you're going to get more than what your business is worth right now anyway. It's probably going to keep your lights on. You get what I'm saying? That's one thing. That's one way to look at it. And the other thing is this, right? We can sit here and say that the destruction isn't, protests and looting and riots need to be separated. I see too many times that people are saying, oh, I hate this because of the destruction. Understand something, and I have been out there. I've been on the front lines when I do this. The protests are indeed peaceful. Every single protest I have done. The cops come through and they say, all right, guys, it's time for the crowds to disperse. The protest is over. And it's like someone flicks a switch. And then here come people with bricks and they start doing stuff. The protesters are departing. The looters are moving in. They're two different things. However, you can't say that it's not worth it. You can't say nothing is happening because these protests, this looting has happened for so long that it's got the attention of the athletes. Now that it has the attention of the athletes are stopping games. Now that they're stopping games, guess what's going to happen? The money is going to be affected by the billionaires. And when the billionaires start losing money, guess what happens in? It's a trickle-down effect, all because of one bad incident. All right, now it's not just one bad incident. It's a very specific incident that has led to where we are right now, but it's steps in the right direction. When these athletes start doing this, MLB, NHL, NFL isn't going on right now. WNBA, they've been ahead of the curve for a long time, right? But when you start affecting the pockets of the billionaires, the players are the millionaires. It's the owners, the special club, the good old boys clubs. Once their pockets start getting affected, that's when you'll start seeing changes on the legislative levels. All right, that's when you're going to start seeing laws. That's when you're going to start seeing new people voted in. I'm not talking about the president. I don't think that the presidential position is what we have to worry about. It's the local elections. You know, if the city of Minnesota burning down that police department didn't send a clear message, I guarantee you changes happen within that police department. I'm not saying to go out and burn police departments. I would never say that. But what I'm saying is you are getting the attention of the right people now. You are affecting the pockets of these owners in these cities, and they will demand change in their cities so you don't cost them billions. All right. So I'm off of my little, that's all I have to say about that. I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to be treated fairly. And I want to continue to use sports as a happy distraction. But while sports are at this impasse, while sports are at this crossroads, we would be foolish and remiss if we didn't talk about what we're going through at this moment in history.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. You know, look, it's just a matter of fact of, you know, it's not to brush to the side or things like that or move on because, look, this isn't going to change overnight, right? This is something that's been happening for years and years and years. And, Mike, you said it well. You know, once you start getting into the pockets of these billionaires and the governors and people like those, you know, things are going to start to change. And it's a foot in the right direction. And like you said, you have to start affecting the local governments before you can affect the overall government, right? So well said, Mike. I couldn't touch on it any more than that, man. And, you know, I'm thankful for you guys as friends. You know, I hope that, you know, everybody stays safe. And, you know, it's just a sad time in our country right now.
Let's talk 49er football, man, because I can stay on this all night and I don't want to.
All right. I'm going to pull up our formalities. We're going to do that. But can you guys hit up those messages that we missed? I saw some contributions in there. We're not slighting anybody. We just wanted to say a couple of things and get some things off of our chest. I'm going to pull up the formalities. You guys handle those contributions for us, please.
Yeah, Justin Downs, you know, appreciate the donation, man. It says, it's sad that so many pick a side instead of listening to their heart with empathy. And that's 100%. You know, it's not about picking a side or wondering what people think of you, as in, you know, if you support this or if you don't support this, right? And it's people's opinions in life, right? But you have to go with your heart. Think about it. And this is the way that it affects me, right? Because not only do I think with my heart, is what if that was my family member? What if that was my brother, my son, my daughter, whatever it may have been, right? Think of it as hitting home because people are people. All humans deserve the same right. It doesn't matter color of skin, anything else like that. Go with your heart. Think about it hitting home, and it will change your outlook on the entire situation. So, Justin, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and I want you guys to know we went on a little, what was that, a 7-8 minute rant here. I'm sorry, but not one time did we mention a political party or anything. It's about good people and bad people. That is it. That is it. So I just want to make that clear here.
Oh, this is about.
This is a comment we're going to get to here. 901. Go ahead, Breezy. Break that down, man. I'm sorry.
To be honest with you, no. I wouldn't be on the practice squad. Cyprian said Do you think he makes the team? I think he makes the team. I can't wait till we break this down and
let's go, man. Let's get to it. All right, so let's start with the formalities here. We want to thank you guys. If this is your first time here on the YouTube page, please do us a favor and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. We did a breaking news video today just because we felt like it wasn't that typical normal breaking news. But
no, you did it because that was
because I felt like it. I said because I felt like it, right? That's, you know.
You made sure that was coming out. You previewed it last night. You said, yo, if he signs, I'm doing a breaking news.
I said it, and I had to keep my word. Right? So that is that. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications so you know when we do videos like the breaking news and when we post pre-recorded videos also. So keep that in mind, okay? A little foreshadowing there. Give us a follow on our Twitter and as well as our Snapchat. That is nothing but 9 ERS. That's the number 9, nothing but 9 ERS. And hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitch. We are nothing but Niners, broadcasting live on all of those platforms right now, except for Instagram. IG, y'all got to step your game up. They partnered with Facebook. Why isn't that feature turned on there yet? Like they got to step it up. But all right, we keep it moving here. We have a website, guys, www.nothingbutniners.com. It's going to be your one-stop shop for most anything from us here at Nothing But Niners. And then if you want to get some of that apparel, you see the hats that those guys are rocking. Even with my hair done, I still can't get a hat on my head, but it's all good. I'll be there soon, fellas. Shop NB9ERS.com. Shop NB9ERS.com. All right, man. We're going to do you guys want to start with the injuries? Y'all want to start with the pressers? Y'all want to start with the quotes? I mean, we signing people. Where do y'all want to go, man?
The injuries, man.
All right,
look,
Nick,
I know y'all aren't worried,
man. Did he do that last time, Breezy? Didn't he start with the injuries last time too?
He did. I'm just letting him rock, dog. Let's get the injuries out the way.
Look, man, this list keeps growing. It's a beneficial. Well, it's a huge factor in how we go into week 1, right? And I know you guys aren't worried about this whole situation and muscle strains and things like that, man, but I'm totally not with you on that. Like, I'm totally not with you. Look, I've been a medic. I've been an EMT. I've been a fireman. Like, to me, I don't understand, right? If it's one guy, fine, with strains, right? With muscle and soft tissue injuries. With one guy, yeah, you're fine. But when you're loading 4, 5, 6 guys up on the same type of injury, something is not being done correctly. Whether it's not enough stretching, whether it's not giving enough water breaks in the heat, whether it's not, re-energizing your body with water or doing the right amount of stretches. This falls under the coaching and the strength and conditioning guys, because if it was different injuries, like, okay, we have this injury, all of these are muscle strains. That's what's worrisome to me. They're all the same injury, just different parts of the body. And I understand you guys are saying, well, it's hot out there. They don't really have mini camp or OTAs, but every other team is facing the same damn issue. Nobody's coming up with 5 guys on their team with muscle strains or pulled hamstrings or stuff like that. Look, I understand it's OTAs, right? But we have to stop and think about no OTAs, no mini camp, and we're going into training camp with 2 weeks and 3 days until the first week of the game. And we're week to week with most of these guys. It's worrisome. It's really worrisome.
I Breezy, you got anything? You got anything on this, man? Because
it's football. These guys are going out there and overexerting mad energy. They're just doing extra to be extra. These guys are going out there to prove one thing. And even though Kyle Shanahan is preaching, be safe, do this, do that, or whatever, everybody trying to make this team, bro. So guys are overexerting themselves. Guys are overstretching. Guys are overreaching. Guys are pulling hamstrings. At least they're not tearing them. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Soft tissue injuries. The good news is they could come back from it, Nick and Mike. That's the good news. The bad news is we just gotta have to deal with it. Like, that's just something we're gonna have to deal with it. If you guys are worried, I can't imagine how the coaches are feeling, because I just think that this is what happens when you don't have OTAs and you don't have the proper stuff before the season starts to get your body in the right condition, to get on the right regiments, to get eating right, to get resting right, to get stretching right. Like, that's how I never realized how important those sessions were until this season. But I'm still not worried. I'm just not worried.
And that's the thing, right? So why are we not worried? But the coaches are stopping practice and having walkthroughs because there's so many muscle injuries to allow recovery days.
The coaches stopped practice. Go ahead, Mike. What you was gonna say, Mike?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize I made an audible noise. No, I was gonna. The coaches stopped practice. He said that they were going to have a regular practice, but they decided not to, so that the players should take a little bit of a break. So it's not that
for recovery. That's what he said.
There's nothing wrong with that.
He said it was a break for recovery.
He said that it was a break for recovery from injuries, to let the guys with injuries relax, and other guys so they don't get injuries.
Okay, so they're taking a break.
Yeah, I'm just not worried. I said it before. I understand why it's happening. I expect those kind of things to be happening right now. And these aren't things that are putting guys on the side. They've said that there's people that if games were going on, we'd be trying to fight them to see if we should make them sit. Like the players would say, "No, I'm okay, I can go." So it's not something that I think what we're seeing is more precaution. They're reporting it because there's people there with cameras who are saying, "Hey, where's that guy been?" The questions about Ross Dwelly, I never heard anything about Ross Dwelly until today. They were like, "Hey, we noticed something about Ross Dwelly wasn't in there and he missed the last practice. Also, what's going on with him?" And then Shanahan explained that he's dealing with like a foot thing. I had no idea about that. But this isn't the first practice that he missed.
We knew
these reporters.
We knew he was injured. We never knew what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, but it's because these reporters are asking. If this was regular practice, we probably wouldn't even hear much about it. That's how I think it. That's how I think it would be.
Yeah, I know it's not going to affect week 1, but it's still something worrisome to me because of these guys that it's only worrisome because it's the same injury for most guys. It's the same type of injury.
Isn't this kind of injury isn't it? Did someone say something about hydration?
Yes, it's that's why I said you have to hydrate. Like that's the players.
They're playing in the California summer sun.
And they playing under that smoke, and they play it's just a bunch of factors going on right now.
Right.
And they're playing without the first preparation that had got their bodies into some type of conditioning. And,
you know what question I would love to ask? You know how like in between huddles or in between drills, you got the water people running up and just squirting them in the mouth with water? Because of this social distancing thing that they're doing, you think they're getting that same?
They are. You see it on 49ers Live. The people that are coming up to them just have masks on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They need to go hire Bobby Boucher or something and get it fixed up or something. Get a few of them guys.
Look, hopefully everybody's good. Like I'm not worried because, like you said, Wayne, I'm not worried because of them not playing. I'm just worried because it's something that should be, taken precaution on as fans, as the team, but I'm not worried about it as for them playing. It's just something that worries me as in what is being done to have the same injury amongst a lot of people. It's just like, one person gets sick, the next person gets sick. They're all getting the same thing. You keep going around. I know it's not a contagious injury, but to have 5 of them, that's a little scary.
Well, we haven't said the names of anybody that was announced today yet. So let's go ahead and get to that. It turns out that fullback Kyle Juszczyk is added to the list of people with hamstring tightness. And they said something about George Kittle also, right?
George Kittle left practice the other day with about 30 minutes remaining. They pulled him out for precaution reasons because of tightness in his hamstring.
Right. And I feel like there was one more, but I can't remember who it was. I know I found out about Ross Dwelly today. So he was another guy that I wasn't aware of what the injury was. So, but yeah, I mean, there's no breaks. There's no season-ending injuries out there, and they're being super cautious right now. You got to remember that this is a team with Super Bowl aspirations.
Correct.
They know who 90% of their roster are.
Correct.
So if these guys are cramping, if these guys aren't feeling quite well, hey man, go sit down.
Oh yeah. What's the guy? Ross, the offensive lineman with the bone bruise.
Ross Reynolds,
who was carted off the field. When you get carted off the field, it's you're thinking it's season ending, but he ended up just having a bone bruise. So we escaped we got lucky on that one. So there goes some death. But I do want to point this out, and I know Nick mentioned this earlier. You know, Nick, we're not really. Are you following any of the other teams? Because a lot of people aren't. But those that are, there's a bunch of injuries going on around the league, and soft tissue injuries as well. So I think we're just super anal and focused on who we are. So I think it's happening around the league. We're just not paying it too much of attention because we don't really care. But I think it's happening around the league. So it could be just they're all trying to cram stuff down, you know. And remember, they're practicing more too, guys. They're practicing more because remember they'll be playing games, right? And then the young guys or whatever, the guys who ain't on the squad trying to make the squad, they will be practicing a lot more. But you got everybody practicing more. So the good thing is, I think they're soft tissue injuries, and I don't think we need to be too worried about it. I get the worrisome, but I don't. I think we can kind of like just breathe right now and just. They're gonna shoot up week one, man. I hope Ayuk's out there. We hope Debo's out there. It's gonna be crazy, man.
You know, one thing I will say I haven't heard a lot of this year are ACL tears. Normally, this time of year, you're hearing one from each
Nick,
team.
you got some wood over there, Nick?
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about just for the Niners, just league wide. I feel like that injury is really, really low this year, right? Or is it just me?
No. You're right. It started off like, oh snap, like, you know, Hurd got his, and then a couple of like I think somebody from the Browns, and then somebody from another team, and I was like, no. And remember, they usually happen not with contact, right? They usually don't happen during contact. But you're right, Mike, and that's awkward to me. It's awkward. Maybe they had more time to rest up those you know, them rubber bands inside they knees or whatnot. I don't know, but that's differently. It's awkward that you're not hearing about a bunch of ACL injuries. It's good. But it's awkward.
Yes. We are not saying that we're complaining about it or anything like
The
that.
thing you're hearing about a lot though is Achilles. There's been like 3 Achilles injuries already this year. So that's kind of scary too for everybody, you know. But
yeah,
look, this if this doesn't go into week one, it's not that big of a worry, right? And you know, obviously with the new guys being on there, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle will practice on Friday. They said George Kittle will practice on Friday. Like you said, Wayne, Ross Reynolds. It was a bone bruise. Those are not fun. Those joints, they definitely hurt, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
Bone bruises seem like they're something else compared to what they really are. Thankfully for Ross Reynolds, he's not, because we can't really take those hits in that position right now. And then, you know, Brandon Ayuk still week to week. I'm trying to think of who else we have with muscle strains. Nick Bosa, still muscle strain week to week.
Yep. D Ford,
calf irritation, they called it.
I think these guys will be fine. I think if it was a real game, all those members you mentioned would be on the field. But due to practice, due to training, I think they deserve much rest. I think they deserve a much day off or whatnot. And I think they will be out there tomorrow. They're gonna be on they're gonna be at the field tomorrow. They're gonna be at Levi's tomorrow, running through protocols and procedures and all that type of stuff, and getting their you know, what's the iPad, the Microsoft, whatever they use. They're gonna be having all that stuff out there. Make sure the headsets are working. They're gonna run through some real life stuff. So I hope we get to see some footage of them on the field.
I am sure we will. All right, so that's the injuries. I can't think of anything else that has happened throughout the league as far as injuries go that affect this team. The Niners continue to bring more people in. You guys want to talk about that?
Sure. A new addition.
Yeah. Huh?
I said the new additions.
Yeah, yes, sir. So they signed a tight end, right? Or are they working a tight end out?
No, they're bringing in a tight end.
Yeah. Clay?
Yeah, Clay.
Shanahan said they are going to sign somebody. They haven't officially signed anybody yet.
I thought they said they were going to sign a D lineman.
He did say that they have to sign another defensive end because of the injury to Kongbo.
Who was released, right?
Huh?
Kongbo was waived.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he was waived due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's correct.
Who else was waived? It was just him, right?
Yes.
And we talked about Ahmed being waived the last show. Yep.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So the two wide receivers that they did sign though.
Craycraft. Woohoo!
Jerron Brown was released.
Yeah, Jerron Brown was released, and then they ended up signing. Well, I'll let him introduce that one. But they signed my guy River Craycraft, right? And I put out a video of him working out. And I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted, but this kid got moves. Like he put somebody on skates. I don't know if that person was a defensive back, a linebacker, or whatever it was, but he put the move on him and caught the pass. So it's clear this kid might, he has a shot. That's the one thing I like about what Kyle is doing. He's bringing in guys to replicate guys, to give guys a shot. So it's competition at every position.
But that's not a bad thing. Like that's what you want this team to be doing right now, right?
When you're contending for a championship, absolutely. And I think what's happening is we're hearing a bunch of no-name guys or guys we've just never really heard before. But you got to remember, Kyle handpicks certain people. So if he's going out to get a guy like River Cray or River Craycraft or whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason, there's a certain skill set that young fella has that Kyle likes. The question is, who is he trying to mimic? Now, remember, Chris Finke got released due to injury, if I'm not mistaken, right? And is this a guy that they're talking about to bring in to back up in the slot position?
I don't know. Let's
or to compete with Trent Taylor.
That sounds like a question for our resident GM, man. I mean, I would ask Tony if I were you.
Well, let's give him a phone call.
All right, let's phone a friend here.
Now Tony's in the stream. There he is.
What's up, Tony?
There you go. He got it.
Tony the Tiger.
Why did we sign Cray? Uh-oh,
Tony's on mute.
Whoop.
Competition.
There you go.
I say 100% competition. I think he could work. Obviously, he could work the slot. He's the same type of receiver as their wide receiver coach and Trent Taylor. And listen, this could be a battle between him and Austin on the bottom end of the roster and JJ Nelson for that speed guy. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like we spoke earlier on the breaking news, the majority of these guys that they're bringing in, I think they're just getting them ready and they're going to try to stash them. But I could be wrong. But listen, competition is the best thing for you because it's going to bring out the best in your best players. So we'll see.
Okay. All right.
I got never mind. Mike, you playing Madden, dog?
Am I playing Madden?
Yeah.
No. Do I seem distracted?
Yeah.
Damn, is that obvious?
What are you playing?
I'm not playing anything.
Your eyes are locked on something.
I was trying to, I was getting prepared.
He's trying to bring up stuff about Kevin White. Like, don't.
No. All right. Since y'all want to know, I was gonna get to the rumors. People want to know. Oh, I put it in the background. Dang, I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. My bad, guys. I ruined that little backdrop there.
Oh, that's what Mike was creating. I got you. It did look like you was playing Madden because you had
blowing up my spot.
Like you just got
While you're doing that, I want to give a shout out to. Well, you can't really see it.
It's like
Anthony Karras. He saw me drinking an IPA one day, and he wanted me to try his brand. So he sent me this Bear Republic IPA from California.
Put it in front of your shirt. Hold it in front of your face.
Can you see it right there?
Now push it towards the. Oh no, he must have something green in there or something.
So anyway, so big shout out to him, man. I got these. I have not cracked one yet. I was waiting to say thank you and try it first with you in the show. So I see you're here. So appreciate that. I'm gonna try that right now for you. And
I wouldn't try it in front of him because what if you don't like it? Your face is gonna be like.
Nah, it's an IPA. I'm sure. Hey, Wayne, do you remember what IPA stands for?
Irish, something.
No,
Indian. I was close.
Indian
Pale ale.
There you go, baby. Good job.
Now, while Nick is trying, I'm going to hide his face from him. And this is what I was pulling up to get to the rumor section.
Hey.
Rumors are buzzing on Twitter and rumors are buzzing on all social media platforms.
I tell you what, if they sign that guy, you can release about 9 of these wide receivers. You can release about 9 of these guys they brought in, yo, because he's absolutely making the squad.
He's going to make the squad?
Absolutely. Weed is legal. Listen, weed is legal now in the NFL, and then he has no worries, you know, and he probably was smoking the weed because he always, you know, banged up. But listen, if
that was Josh Gordon for anybody who couldn't tell.
If the 49ers signed Josh Gordon, you can release about 9 of these guys, yo.
Now that picture came directly from his Instagram.
Correct.
That was not someone else's. That was straight from his IG, and it sent the social media pages a buzzing. 49ers social medias were going crazy. Now, my question though is this: why would we release anybody for a 2-week rental?
Why would Josh Gordon be a 2-week rental?
Because he'll find another reason to get kicked out of the league.
Oh, okay. I see. You're foreshadowing this kid's future because you think he's not going to make it because of his track record, right? So you're one of those people that don't give guys 4th, 5th, 6th chances. I got you.
I am Mr. I just cheered for Kevin White. How many chances he got?
That was due to injury. This is due to. This is
the mentality, right?
I mean, this is due to I mean, I don't think weed is addiction, but whatever it was he was doing was an addiction, and it's due to that. Listen, man. I guess has Kyle couldn't make it work in Cleveland, right? So it's possible I don't know. All I know is if they make it happen, guys, this would be a good piece to have.
Okay, what you think there, Tony?
So I think of it different. If they really wanted him, they would have got him right away instead of waiting to bring the Jaron Browns, the kid that they signed from the other kid, the speed guy,
JJ Nelson.
I think they would have, the minute they found out about Jalen Hurd, I think, or even like Deebo Samuel, when they found that injury, they would have went and got him if they really wanted him. I don't know if this is him trying to get a job or, you know what I'm saying? There's rumors saying that he reached out to Mike McDaniels, not only on that, but I guess because he was his position coach when he was in Cleveland. I think Mike McDaniels was on the staff with Kyle in Cleveland. So, I mean, I don't know, but if they wanted him, I think they would have got him already and already started the process with him. I mean, it shouldn't be a tough process because he's played in this system, but I just think they would have got him first instead of going to Brown, JJ Nelson, now Kevin White, the other kid that they signed. I forgot his damn name already. Yeah, so I just think they would have got him first. He would have been a priority.
So this is his way of auditioning and trying to get fans talking about him. Now, we saw this happen last offseason with Antonio Brown. Remember Antonio Brown posted the picture of him cropped into the jersey swap thing with him in the 49ers jersey. And even later on, so a fan tweeted at him and he was like, hey, man, I reached out. They didn't show any interest in me. So is this what we're seeing right now? Nick, is that what you think is happening?
Thanks for letting me know. You know,
I thought about letting you just talk for a little bit, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, I know you will. And then I looked and I was like, oh, I'm muted. Look, I'm 100% with Tony on this, right? I think if the Niners were interested in him, that they would have went and signed him when they first needed to get him in camp and do whatever. Look, that's not saying that the dude can't come here and help this team, right? You know, he has the athletic ability. He has that, you know, that ability. And Kyle Shanahan has coached him before, if I'm correct, right? He was with him in Washington, right?
Cleveland.
That's where it was. Cleveland. I'm sorry, Cleveland. So Kyle knows who he is, right? Kyle knows his work ethic, knows who he is, knows what he does. So this is something that I'm gonna take usually basically a grain of salt with, because we see how Kyle Shanahan brings his guys that he knows or has worked with in here, right? So to sit here and think that the Niners are interested kind of throws me off. I kind of agree with Tony. I think that if it were to happen, I think it would have already happened. And that's look, it's not to say that the dude isn't athletic. It wouldn't help us. I can remember when he first became a free agent out of Cleveland, we were like, oh, sign him. Like at that point we needed him, right? Is he something that we're in a dire need for right now? I wouldn't say that.
Nick going there. Okay, keep talking. Let me see. I want to hear you say it.
I don't think it is a dire need for him right now, right? Because you got other guys like Brandon Ayuk who can do types of things. Obviously, we haven't seen him take an NFL snap, right? But you got Deebo Samuel. You got, if Dante Pettis comes back and starts playing as good as he's playing in camp, Trent Taylor, you got these guys. You know, if anything, you got other guys that can make this team too. And with the signing of Kevin White, the signing of obviously the release of Jerron Brown, but J.J. Nelson, Tavon Austin, they're all speed guys, right? So they're all fast. So what does Josh Gordon bring that we don't already have on this team? We have
Josh, right?
Okay,
let's go.
Okay. So are we all aware? We all know that Josh Gordon can get open, right? Because that's what he does. And our 49ers wide receivers kind of struggle with getting open. Like that's what they did. And at the beginning of last season, we're hoping that's different this season, right? Kyle schemes him to get open, whereas Josh Gordon can win matchups. But I get you. I totally
right. And this has nothing to do with his athletic ability. It's just you're taking a chance, bringing him to.
We're taking a chance on a whole bunch of these guys that we don't know about. You're
right, but they don't have the background that Josh Gordon has, and you're putting Josh Gordon in a state where weed is legal, where he continues to get kicked out of the league.
But the league is now okay with weed. So
not yet. It's not passed.
I thought
it's not passed yet. The players are trying to get it passed.
I thought that passed. I thought Roger Goodell passed that, but whatever. Okay, if not, I'm wrong. But I thought that was passed. That's the only reason why I'm advocating for this. Because if he has an issue with struggling with that, then this should be a no-brainer. And listen, guys, who's to say that they didn't try to go after Josh Gordon and his agent was asking for too much money? Isn't he a free agent?
He's not reinstated yet. He can't play in the league yet.
But he's still a free agent.
But you can't sign him because he's not a player.
Right. So then that's why they don't go after him.
But you said Nick named a bunch of people who don't get separation. The very first name Nick said, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, I think is a pretty good comp for Josh Gordon.
Who?
He said Brandon Ayuk first and foremost.
Oh yeah,
that was the first name he said.
But we haven't seen him play. You get what I'm saying?
We saw him in college.
All right, bro.
Look,
last time I checked, college was totally different than the NFL. I mean, it's football, but it's different.
Just tell me what does Josh Gordon bring to this team that some of the guys that we have on this team don't?
Let's see. Said separation first. That was the first thing he
said. And that's, for me, that's all I need. I just think Josh Gordon is still a matchup. Even when he played in New England, we didn't see it much in Seattle, but when he was. Didn't he play with Seattle and New England last year? He played with both teams, or that was the year before? Can't remember.
No, he was with New England the year before and Seattle last year. I thought. I could be wrong. But I do know he went from New England to Seattle. I just thought it was 2 different years.
Right. And then I think it was the same year, right? Because didn't he get hurt and then they cut him?
They cut him and then he got picked up
right off the waiver wire. There you go. Boom. Yep. So when in New England, he was getting open. He was one of Tom Brady's favorite targets. And I just feel like a guy like that is still a matchup nightmare. That's it. That's it. Now, that does not mean that anyone else on our team isn't. I just know that defenses prepare for him differently. And if you're playing a game of chess, that's one of those pieces you want on your team, especially if they're all in. But if he's not, then I totally agree. Let's not get away from him. But it's not like he's going to bring bad juju or like he's not a bad locker room guy. He's really a loner that just likes to smoke weed. He can't stop. So I get it. I get where you guys are going with it, but I just think he brings that to the team. Matchup problems, separation, You want to go deep post? He catches that pass in the Super Bowl too.
Oh. All right, hey, let's do this. Right? When he's reinstated and he becomes an official free agent, let's do a quick on the count of 3. You give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether or not you think the team should make a move for him. All right? Y'all ready? Ready? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm the only one. That's
cool. Hold on. I need to stand with my brother. Hold on.
Nah. Y'all good. I don't mind being a loner. I'm cool, man. You know what sucks though? I
thought Tony was gonna say yes. I can't believe Tony said no.
Yeah, it's cool. He's not gonna be a Niner. We all know that. But my point, I would get him. I would go out there and get him.
Okay.
We have wide receiver issues. We have guys that Nick is worried about with soft tissue issues, and you won't take a wide receiver like that, but you're gonna go out and sign a Craycraft? Please, get out of here. Give me him.
Yo, you said his name so disrespectful, and you said it right. It's crazy at the same time. I don't know how you did that.
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
I know, but it's the way you said it, though. You gonna go and sign a Craycraft? You called him a Craycraft, like and he is a Craycraft.
I just don't know what.
I know, Nick. I know.
I just don't know what he brings right now, and to a team where we have guys that can do that type of stuff, right? Yeah, he's big, he's physical, he's got speed. But we got guys that create separation. They're quick. They're shifty. They do things with the ball in their hand all over the field. Not just a guy that, I just, like, to me, look, like I said, it's not that he's not an athlete. I just think that we have it here. And I'll even bring up Kendrick Bourne. Like, Kendrick Bourne has stepped into a role, and I'm not saying that he's Josh Gordon, but Josh Gordon, Brandon Ayuk. No, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying.
No, you're right. No, he's just agreeing with you. Like, he was agreeing with you.
Kendrick Bourne, right? I'm not saying is a Josh Gordon. I'm not saying that. But he does what he needs to do for this team, right? He has a role on this team. You have Deebo Samuel, who has built his role, right? Dante Pettis is coming back. We don't know what we're going to get from Brandon Ayuk, but Brandon Ayuk has the potential, obviously, from what we're hearing in camp, to be that guy, right? To be another one of those guys. So this late in camp, obviously, Wayne, you might be right. We might not have even looked at him yet because of his reinstatement. But, I mean, it's just if he were to come here, fine. Will he make our team better? It's a boost in our wide receiver core. I'm not going to say it makes us better. I'm not going to say it makes us worse. I think it's a boost, right? In either way. But I'm comfortable with the guys that we have right now. And I don't want a guy – this is nothing against him, but whether weed has been passed or it hasn't been passed, he's been suspended so many times. You put all your marbles in his bucket and then bang. You're setting back guys that would be getting snaps to go forward.
If Josh Gordon said, I will play for $5, you wouldn't sign him?
It's not about the money, though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not about the money. The issue is from year to year, they can't keep trying to find the plug and play guy. They're drafting people. They have to develop these people to go forward, towards the future. You can't try to get lucky and hope like a free agent falls through the cracks that has some minor off the field issues, and try to bring him in with the ties of Kyle, and they drafted Jawan Jennings. They got Kendrick Bourne as an undrafted free agent. They drafted Brandon Ayuk. They invested a second-round pick and traded up for Dante Pettis. Now you have all these pieces that they invested in, and they're trying to get the best out of. I know he is a talented wide receiver, but now if you add him to the roster, who sits? Who's not going to get the chance to get on the field and develop? So right now, okay, he plays 1 year. Let's say he has maybe 50 catches for 600 yards and 5 touchdowns. Someone gives him a deal next year, and now you're right back at square one. What are we going to do now? We go back in with the same group. Oh, well, we have an opportunity to get him. So these guys that you drafted and invested in aren't getting the opportunity to develop, getting playing time, and getting on the field experience.
Listen, man, we tried that shit last year, and it didn't work.
It worked. What the?
Come! Are you guys kidding? So they didn't go out and trade for a wide receiver?
No,
Because
you're 100% right. I agree with you.
So
Yeah.
that's my point. They went out and they said, these young guys can't. They it's not working. It's not working right now. I'll give up this. Let's see if this guy will come here. That's what they did. They did that.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
And what if that happens again?
The thing is, they invested in a veteran who turned out to be a rental, which I wish they would have brought him back, but his asking price was too much.
Too much, way too much.
Their investment to bring him in to help them and teach them the ropes, I think you're going to see payoff this year without him on the team.
I agree.
These guys got all that swag. Kendrick Bourne, Debo. Debo was like a hermit crab before what's his name got here. And then he just came right out of the show.
He had one touchdown, Tony. I think Debo had a touchdown before Sanders came.
Well,
but I mean, look at the difference in him.
But it wasn't. Yeah, they got to utilize him differently. You're right.
And Wayne, going back to what you said about last year, we made that trade, but this year's totally different because Debo Samuel has come into his own of who he is on this team, right?
Hurt.
Kendrick Bourne has stepped up tremendously compared to what he was before last year.
We haven't seen it play yet, but you're right. Mm-hmm.
No, he played last year. He played.
No. We haven't seen him play this year.
But I'm saying last year he stepped into his role.
I agree, but now teams are gonna defend him differently, and we got to see if he's gonna be able to outperform what he did last year.
What I'm trying to say is we only made that move because these guys didn't take that step forward at that time. So they needed that veteran. So this year I don't think we need that veteran type guy. I think Debo is that guy. Kendrick Bourne is that type of guy, leader wise, right?
I think they brought the veteran in though. I think they brought a veteran in. They brought in Jordan Reed. So they got a veteran in there somewhat, But I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate, guys. I agree. I still like Gordon though.
All right. That's a lot of time on somebody that we know ain't coming to the
game. He's not even, I don't even know how he posted that picture.
It's cool. You know what's weird is that we talk about players a lot, and it's not often that we just shut the door on the possibility of them joining. I just think that's interesting. So there were pressers. There were a lot of pressers that we have yet to discuss, and I don't know where or which ones you guys want to start on. Do you guys want to start with the most recent and work our way backwards? You want to start with the oldest and work our way forward? I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Or do we just talk about someone and our biggest takeaway from that presser?
Let's do that. I find the coaches' pressers boring, and they ain't really all of them. I mean, head coach he's just not cool to listen to, but I mean, he's giving us information that we want to hear, but it's still boring. And Saleh, he's just not good at speaking. I'd rather just talk about the players.
Saleh's not good at speaking.
No, Saleh's good at speaking, but he loses you. Like he's like.
I was trying to take notes.
You gotta sit here and do this and okay, what is he trying to say? Remember I told you that the one day when you're just trying to catch up on the pressers. Man, I listened to Saleh. I wanted to go nuts. I was like, what is he trying to say?
At least I'm not the only one. He the GM, so I'm telling you. I mean, I got a 4-page letter of notes from him. And I'm like, I'm not reading this stuff on the air. But I like the players. I really like when the players talk because they mess up all the time. Let's talk about the players.
I think we should talk with Jonathan Cyprian first.
That's okay, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. You know what? Let's talk about him, Nick.
Because it was very interesting. Right now, look, at first I'm like, what is this going to turn out to be, right? And then all of a sudden, he started smiling and started getting into things like that. But the question that stood out the most, and I'm sure everybody's got the same answer to the question, is you ask a stupid question as to, would you be okay with going to a practice squad?
I just don't understand the question.
What do you expect a guy to say? No, he's going to make a team.
They set him up.
That was a dangerous question.
They set him up.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous question.
They set him up.
Answer that question. There's no right answer because now people are going to say he doesn't look like a team player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, he's only here, but he should only be here
to make the team.
Exactly. That should be the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lose-lose no matter how you answer that question.
It was a loaded question. It was for sure.
They set him up.
Sure a loaded question, man. And they made this dude pull the trigger, basically, right? So, look, I didn't expect anything more than the guy. If you're here to make a team, of course you're going to say, no, I'm not playing on a practice. No, I'm not open to going to practice. He didn't say, no, I wouldn't play on a practice squad. He said, no, I'm not open to going to a practice squad, which his mindset should be. Like, his mindset should be that he's here to make this 53-man roster and not go to a practice squad. Like, what do you expect? And then he's taking a bunch of trash talk from people, like, basically, like Mike said, that he's not a team player. He's not this. Like, he was totally set up for that question and the answer where it could go either way. And it was definitely loaded, man.
He need to take a class in public speaking or something to recognize a question like that, because that was a setup question for him. All right, the question that they asked: would you, like, with the new rule of the 60-man veterans on the practice squad, would you consider taking a position on the practice squad? And
now,
I mean,
answer it as if you're him. How do you get at it?
I could have swore he asked him to repeat it because he didn't realize that question. He knew he heard what he heard, and he was like, what did you say? And he asked to repeat the question, and they asked him again. And if you ask me that question, I don't know. I don't know what I would say. Because we're not in that situation.
Look, maybe he could have answered it and said, no, I'm not okay with being on the practice squad. My main focus is making the 53.
That's what or no, I'm not okay being on the practice squad, but if that's where I end up landing, I want to give my all to be on this team. Like, I think if he would have said something like,
want to play on the practice squad.
I understand that. I understand that. But he's saying no, let us know that's not where you want to be. But then saying what I said, let us know that you still want to be a part of this organization. So I don't know how that's gonna. I don't know how well that's gonna fare with anyone. But I know he's out there. He's going out. He's busting his tail. And with the injury to Marcel Harris, he picked Jimmy once, twice.
He's got 3 interceptions so far.
Yeah, and I think 2 was off of Jimmy. 1 was a tip. Like, he's going out there balling. He's able to recognize and stuff like that. And remember, those were in the red zone or whatnot. They're working on red zone offense, but he's going out there balling. So it's so now you got to cipher back to Salah's presser, because I didn't really like what. So Salah said that he was here to compete. Like, he's here to compete. Like, and he's having a great training practice. And I'm not sure if this particular guy, I'm not sure if he's gonna make this squad, because here I'm gonna go with what Tony said and what Nick said. When you got guys like, you got your starters, you got Ward and Tart, you got your backups or your nickels and dimes, whatever you want to call them. You got oh my gosh, Moore. And you got Harris, and then who's gonna be that last one? So you got an undrafted guy and Maiden, excuse me, and then you got him, and I think there's another safety too. So only one of these guys is making it. Now, him going on the practice squad, and I'm agreeing with you. I would have said no. I don't want to go on the practice squad. A, less money. B, it's just less money. C, is less money. It's just no money in it. So it is what it is, man. But what do you guys think?
I think, honestly, I told you.
Maiden got waived, Tony?
No, Maiden's still on the team.
Yeah, AC got waived. I didn't know Maiden got waived.
DeMarcus AC got cut. I think he was another injury.
Oh.
All right, I think this guy was brought in for a reason. And Mike, you brought this up. I don't know if it was on a show or on a phone conversation or even in a chat. I honestly think there's a plan here, okay? And we have a team that runs a very wide open offense in the Arizona Cardinals, who come out in like 14 personnel. So you saw what happened with the Chiefs. And I think this plan it's not only a plan to help help them defend these teams, but I also think this could be a potential something in line going towards the future as far as with Tart. I'm not saying now. I'm saying if they can't come to an extension with Tart, Cyprien can move in and compete with Harris for the starting strong safety spot. Which, by the way, Harris will be an unrestricted free agent after this season, because he went from a 6th-round pick to being cut to being put on the practice squad and being brought back up to the active roster. And when they do that, it's only a 2-year deal, and that was last year. So this is his 2nd year. So he might be a restricted free agent. I'm sorry, but I know he's going to be a free agent of some sort. So basically, like what I said to you guys in the conversation, you could see the team switch it up. You could see them rush 3 with 2 linebackers, a safety with then 2 safeties back deep, and then their corners. A dime situation, a big nickel situation where there's more speed and versatility on the defense to try to cover that 14 personnel look that Arizona could put out on the field, or even versus the Chiefs. Now, I'm not trying to say if Cyprien was on the field, he would have stopped that play versus the Chiefs. No, I'm not. It's just it could potentially have been defended slightly better with speed rather than going more linebackers. You could see an instance where they might go with 1 linebacker, rush 4, and put that big safety inside with either Warner, Greenlaw, or Quan playing the linebacker spot. It's versatility. It's all different looks. And, you know, it's funny that he went back to what he knew. He went to a guy that performed at I think a Pro Bowl level at Jacksonville and Cyprien with solid air under Gus Bradley. So the transition should be easy for him, which it is, because other than Sherman getting these picks, he was the only guy, and Marcel Harris the only ones that are getting interceptions.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not saying he's going to be a freaking ball hawk, but I'm saying it's going to give the defense a different look to try to defend these wide open offenses. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at it from an X and O point and a matchup rather than just going in a nickel with 2 linebackers and just K'Wan Williams as your slot and then having to man up with your other linebacker. You can go with a safety, another back, more. You can use Travarius more on the field. Yeah. You could mix it up. And listen, let's be real. Tar isn't the most healthiest player in the league. He misses games. He doesn't go 16 games.
He's only played 12 games in the last 2 years.
So this could be a response to them being uncertain about his injury history from his injuries. So, I mean, I do think they keep 5 safeties. And the key thing is, don't forget, we had DJ Reed on this roster last year that played both corner and safety. Correct. They listed him as a corner. So they brought 5 corners with only 4 safeties. So you might see them go – I don't think they'll do 4. I think they'll do 5 and 5 and then cut it short on a linebacker. Maybe like one of the back end of maybe Azahir, Joe Walker, maybe even Zocha, something like that. And listen, he could be a very valuable player on special teams as well.
Tony, let me ask you a question. Who do you think is a better coverage safety? In Marcel Harris or Jonathan Cyprien?
That's a good question.
Because we know that Marcel Harris is a very physical box safety, right? And he's good at the run. But he's not as good in coverage, I mean, in my opinion, but I've not really watched a whole lot of tape on Cyprien. So I want to know who you think is the better. Because I really think that Odin is going a lot of man this year, bro.
I think so too. I think he's going to change this whole back end up.
So that question, and feel free, Wayne or Mike, to answer as well. Wayne, you can answer. Tony, you can answer. But whatever you like, what is your true feeling on it? Who do you think is the better coverage strong safety?
I know who I think.
Who do you think?
I think it's Cyprien. I think because of his experience in the league, I feel like he's better in coverage. I talked about his stats on the last show. I'm not sure how many interceptions he's had, but obviously that's not all that we need our guys to do in coverage, right? We need them to break up passes and things like that. We want interceptions, but I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Cyprien. After you guys go, I do want to point out something about Marcel Harris that I did not know until I heard in the presser. So go ahead and answer that up.
I think obviously the experience is there with Cyprian. He played at a Pro Bowl. He's very. Oh, I thought Mike was screwing around with me, but whatever.
No, he's watching you.
I think you have to go with the experience with Cyprian, but I think what their mindset is, I think it's not going to be them two on the deep. I think they're going to be the middle to intermediate to, I guess you could call it the hook to flat area if they're going to be playing the big package with the one of them as a linebacker.
Yes, sir.
I just think you have to give the nod to Cyprian because of the experience. But I will say this. Other than that New Orleans game where they single-handedly attacked Harris with that tight end Cook, he didn't have that bad of a year in coverage towards the latter part of the season where Mike is screwing with me, but I see him bobbing his head. Towards the latter part of the season where he had a little bit bigger of a role. And listen, don't forget, he had 2 balls in his hands that he dropped for interceptions, Harris. Marcel Harris had 2 interceptions hit his hands.
Correct.
And he dropped them. So listen, if he catches them, we could be talking different right now. Just because he didn't catch them and put 2 interceptions on his stats. So
yeah, we also seen him give up bonehead plays, take bad angle. Like we've seen him mess up too. So you're right. It would fare well more with us as Niner fans, if he would have caught those passes. But he also made some mistakes, man. That's what I want to talk about. So go ahead.
So before Mike, what are your thoughts on it?
Thank you.
I've been trying before we move on, I want to know Mike's thoughts. I wasn't sure.
No, I do. I think that Cyprian is the better coverage guy. I think on the flip side, though, Marcel Harris is better when the game is in front of him. As long as no one has to get vote. Oh, I see what's happening here. As long as he doesn't have to get on that back pedal for too long and break, I think Marcel Harris is overall better. It's just the coverage, the deep coverage and things like that. I would take Cyprian over that. But I will say this. I am a firm believer in people getting into new or different systems that fit them a little bit better. With the defensive line playing the way it does, Cyprian can play a little more free and a little more natural than what he was allowed to in other places in his recent history. So I'm done.
All right, Wayne.
So Marcel Harris, interesting. And somebody posted it in here too as well. I'm going to pull it up if I can find it. But Saleh, they asked him about Harris. And this dude is really high on Harris. Like he really likes Harris. He said that Marcel Harris has been awesome and he's playing with a lot more confidence. He said he didn't play his last year in college. He had no OTAs when he came in. He missed training camp. He missed the first 8 weeks of that season, and he was thrown right into the fire. So this is why he probably was all over the place, like just not being here. But he does play with high energy. He does grab the ball. He is a knack to the ball. He likes to make plays. He likes to strip the ball. So those are the things that we like to see. I can't stand y'all. Those are the things that we like to see. Why we got to be so petty? Huh? Why we got to be petty? And it starts with Mike. It starts with Mike down there. You started to now looking like this and now everybody doing it.
When Tony said, you talking about the looking at you when you were speaking?
Yeah.
I was just trying to be respectful. My mom told me to look the man in the eye when they were speaking. So but if you don't want to, cool.
No, I'm just saying that Saleh's high on this kid. And if he's healthy, which I believe he's a little bit dinged up, but when he's out there healthy, if his confidence is up and he's balling out and he's got a better grasp on just the concept of the defense, I think he balls out this year. Especially in a season where Tart is becoming a free agent. And this guy's restricted free agent too, Tony, because you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So Tony made a great point, right? We don't know what's going on with Tart, and we don't know we don't know what is going to happen with Tart moving forward, right? Because he's obviously going into a free agent year. Do you think who's the best two safeties on this team right now for this team moving forward? Out of those three, Tart, Cyprien, Marcel Harris.
Just picking two of those guys.
Two of those guys. You're starting your backup.
I'm going.
I would go with. We're assuming everyone's healthy, right?
Correct.
I would go with Tart and Harris.
Harris, yeah. Me too.
The reason I'm sticking with Harris is because of this team's ability to get after the quarterback without having to blitz. It makes Harris a better playmaker. It improves Cyprien as well, but I like what it does for Harris with constant pressure, and it hides his weakness. It hides the coverage weakness in Harris's game. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Wake up, Tony.
Wayne, what do you think?
I agree. I was gonna say that. I said Mike said everything I was gonna say, but I agree.
Tony,
Plus,
you agree too?
with Harris, you're getting a younger guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think it's them too, but I still think Cyprien makes this roster, and I think Cyprien's going to be a chess piece.
Right. I was just saying, as starter and backup going into next year, like if you had to right now, would you do away with Tart and start getting these? Would it be two other guys, not including Tart, to move forward if you can't come to decisions with Tart, right? Because we not that we know there's trouble in paradise, but we thought that, right? Because of people's tweets, people you're bringing in other safeties, strong safeties, and things like that. So that was why I wanted to push that question to you guys, because if there is trouble on the horizon, are you still going to go with Tart over one of these other guys, or would you keep it Tart and somebody else?
Trouble like what? Like
trouble as in can't bring him back or can't come to an agreement on a contract, and he's a walking guy.
If
he's going to walk.
If Cyprien balls out, you going to pay him?
You have to do something.
If Tart is a healthy option, Tart is the answer. I
agree.
I will never forget how this team struggled with tight ends in Tart's absence.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I need to see. And I don't think Cyprien has that.
Ooh, okay.
I think if they feel that they can't come to an extension with Tart and someone offers them something, I like Tart. I like Jaquiski. The defense, that secondary together, all on the same page. Continuity. They're good. They communicate well. But like I said before, Saleh has trust in Cyprien. He knows him. Cyprien knows Saleh's scheme, the Seattle, whatever you want to call it. And it's just very interesting that they went out and they tried out all those safeties, signed two. And like we spoke about this before, do they feel maybe does Tony Oden see something here? Maybe he's not seeing what he likes in Tart. Because let me tell you something, guys, and this isn't the knock Jaquiski Tart show and praise Cyprien. But if you look at all the reports out of training camp, when Jordan Reed put pads on and he was doing one-on-ones, Tart could not stop him.
That's because he's a route runner.
So, it's not a knock against Tart.
What'd you say? I missed it.
There was reports during the week when finally Jordan Reed put pads on and participated in one-on-ones and 7-on-7, I think. Jaquiski Tart had a very hard time covering him.
Yeah, but that's one-on-ones.
Right, but we're talking about
if you're in man coverage, it's one-on-one.
One-on-ones are designed for. Wait, are we serious? Right? Are we for real?
Were you saying one-on-ones in a game or one-on-ones at practice?
No, he's talking about the one-on-ones in practice. With Jordan Reed, where it was just no one else, just Tart and him. You can't take weight in that. You can't.
I don't know about that, buddy.
Are one-on-ones not designed to favor receiver or the pass catcher, the route runner?
Yeah, but that's every time you step on the football field, a man to man.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because there's still areas. There's still coverage areas. I get what you're saying, that if you go in man to man, that's your guy. I do understand what you're saying, but there's still so much space on the field. When it's just you, Nick, if it's me and you and we got 50 plus yards to go left to right, you can't cover me either. Right, you're gonna burn me, but you can't cover me either. It doesn't matter which one of us are better. It favors the person running the route, is what I'm saying.
There's always a favor in a receiver because they know which direction they're going. I'm
playing. I was just trying to spice it up. You go ahead, Tony, with your point. I was just playing.
I'm
so freaking confused right now.
This is why the show be 3 hours, yo. Because
I'm so confused.
But I mean, look, your one-on-one are always designed for a receiver to win, right? They're always designed that way.
Correct.
They have the more knowledge of what route they're running, and obviously the quarterback's not facing pressure as well, which has time to throw the ball, knows exactly where he's going with the football, and things like that. So yes, in one-on-one drills, regular, it benefits the receiver more. But in one-on-one, in a regular game, I think the coverage is still, the mentality is still the same, right? Because your DB doesn't know where your receiver's going. Your receiver knows what route he's running or what zone to get to. But it's just the pressure that changes that whole system.
Let me see if I can find that video. There was a video of it. Go ahead, you can continue. Just go to the next topic.
Since we're talking about Reed, one of the pressers that we haven't discussed yet was the latest George Kittle one. And George Kittle was talking and spouting stuff about Jordan Reed that made him sound like a wide receiver out there. When he was talking, he used this term that I swear on everything, I have only heard this about wide receivers, not corners, not tight ends, not safeties, only wide receivers. He said there are no wasted steps or movements when he runs his routes. I have never heard that about any player at any position outside of wide receiver. It was incredible to hear. And you guys were telling me how Kittle was pumping him up before, and I need to go back and watch the tape on his route running and everything. And then somebody, I don't know if it was in our group chat or in the WhatsApp, somewhere, somebody posted, tagged me and something.
I sent you a video, his first a route of his.
Right, and we could put that in here too if you still have it. We can add that to this. But bro,
can I just show? Can I put a video up on this?
Is it a NFL game or is it a practice?
Practice.
Yes,
I could.
Do you want to tag me in it and I can take a screen grab and we can put it up for everybody to see, or you want to just hold your phone up to this?
How do you want me to tag it? How do I do it? I don't know.
Is it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, just at me in it. I'll take a screen grab and then I'll post it in the room so everybody can see it. It'll take over our stream. That's no big deal. But I gotta go right now.
I know wide receivers have an advantage, but I just want you to watch this video. And this is what I saw, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's like either Tart got worse or Jordan Reed is that good.
It's not like a breaking route. It's a go route. It's literally an outside release, and he runs the seam. And Tart just, you'll see it.
Did you see too where Jaquiski Tart posted
nothing but Niners
picture posted on his Instagram post and it said public enemy number 1 of a picture.
Yeah, he was walking in the locker room.
Yeah, so it's like, he's walking to the locker room and Jaquiski posted it and said public enemy number 1. Like you did him dirty all day. So Breezy,
my man,
talk your ish, bro.
Listen, I'm a big advocate of Jordan Reed. I said it I said it before he was on this team that this was the guy that they should go out and get during free agency, and I got reprimanded for it, right? And I kept saying if he's healthy, he's a difference maker. George Kittle is phenomenal. But Jordan Reed is the perfect complement because if there's another word for phenomenal, that's what Jordan Reed is. And the fact that he's been in this system and he knows Kyle Shanahan and all he has to do is just be like, you plug into a computer and get an update. that's going to be ridiculous. He's not stupid. He knows how to learn plays. The only thing he got to do, he got one job, stay healthy. That's it. That's all he has to do, because everything else comes to him with ease. He's that great of a football player. He's that great of a route runner. He's that great of a pass catcher, guys. He can catch the balls. His blocking isn't bad, especially in the run game. He knows how to block. So we just got to get him to stay healthy, y'all. Like, I'll do whatever I got to do, man. He can give him blood transfusion, whatever it needs to be. We'll help him out, because if this guy stays healthy, guys, the 49ers are not trying to win the Super Bowl. They're trying to demolish a team in the Super Bowl. Now, I know it's going to be hard to get back there, but they're trying to demolish a team in the Super Bowl.
That's happening anyway. Like that we taking the chip.
But I'm talking. You remember? All right. Can I take you back to '94 when it was like 34-3, and then they finally got some points, and it was like 34-17, and we end up winning that Super Bowl? I know that number. But the first play of the game was like a play action pass to Jerry Rice down the field for a touchdown. Like, they on that stuff. They trying to put up points. This is Kyle Shanahan's season. He trying to put up points.
I ain't mad at you, big bro. I hear you. All right, the video is loading. It's saving, I should say. And as soon as it's done, probably another.
Somebody said that Jordan Reed is our backup slot wide receiver. Yo, you can line him up in the slot, cuz he got footwork.
All right, Tony, you ready to narrate your video here?
Yeah, I want that NFL film voice too, Tony.
Uh-oh, here we go.
You got the mic for it.
Let's go. All right, here we go. Here it is.
They're a free agency, and I got reprimanded for it, right? And I kept saying, if he's healthy, he's a difference maker. George Kittle is phenomenal, but Jordan Reed is the perfect complement.
I mean,
so it turns out it mutes everybody's microphones while the video is playing.
Didn't mute mine.
Well, I heard Wayne talking about getting ripped for saying to sign somebody. It when he put it up, it recorded you talking before. And then when he played it, it cut us all out and played the recording.
So you say what you want to say about it, and I will put it back up there.
Mike, you gotta get an iPhone.
All right. So basically, what we're looking at is it's one-on-one. Obviously, he takes an outside step to the left for an outside release towards the sideline, and he just takes it down the hash. Literally right down the hash. And you'll see Tart, he'll freeze just on an outside step, and then he gets like a step and a half on Tart, and it's good night. Go ahead.
They're a free agency, and I got reprimanded for it, right? And I kept saying, if he's healthy, he's a difference maker. George Kittle is phenomenal. But Jordan Reed is the perfect complement, because if there's another word for phenomenal, that's what Jordan Reed.
You know,
that's so weird.
That's because he don't have an iPhone, Nick.
And when I'm doing my screen record, it records whatever audio is going on. I didn't turn the volume down or anything. Remember when I randomly yelled nothing but Niners before? I was recording the first video, but I forgot to hit stop, so it was like 40 seconds long. So I did another one afterwards. But I mean, look, it happened. He won he won that rep, but Tart was right there. It's not like he blew by Tart in some major way or anything like that. That's cool. That's going to happen, right?
Who
and he got those.
Who threw that? Was that Jimmy G ball?
No,
that's why I was asking. That was a good pass.
I think that was Nick Mullins.
Yeah, I think it was Nick Mullins.
But listen,
you'll think it was who?
Nick Mullins.
Where did y'all get that from?
Go back.
They don't even come close to showing the quarterback.
They're a free agency.
Go back.
I can't tell who that is.
They're a free agency, and I got reprimanded for it, right? And I kept saying, if he's healthy, he's a difference maker. George Kittle is phenomenal.
You can't tell who that is at all. I don't know why y'all thought that was Mullins. Although I will say this, there's no leg brace, so we know it wasn't Jimmy.
Jimmy hasn't been wearing a leg brace.
I know he has been wearing it.
I thought he took it off. He took it
off again.
Yes, he did.
He took it off.
He didn't have it the last two practices again.
Yeah, man. He came out of that joint. coming out of his shell. They said that was C.J. Beathard.
Jimmy's been wearing red Jordan cleats.
Well, those were white cleats, though.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was what's his name.
You're coming in free agency.
All right, let's move on, man. What are we doing here, man, guys? We were approaching that 1.5 hour mark. Were there any takeaways from any of the pressers that we watched over the last week? We made sure everybody went back and watched them all. We heard from head coach Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan stands with the players. One thing that I really loved about what he said today was that whatever the guys say, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. If they said they wanted to stop practice today, we weren't going to practice. If they wanted to practice, they were fine with it. That's why we're here. No one ever mentioned it. But if they had to mention it to me, and I would have done whatever they want. That tells me Kyle Shanahan is a different type of player. Not player. He's a different type of coach.
He's definitely a player's coach.
Yeah. If there was ever a question of whether or not he was a player coach, that is your answer. 100%.
I got one more thing, yo. The Tavon Austin interview with Presser. This was the best answer to COVID I've ever heard in my entire life. Because everybody asks us a COVID question, right? And I know his answer was different, though. Because his answer was like, you got to be accountable to yourself. And he said, this team is on a mission. And he's like, I got to be accountable because I don't want to be the one to mess this team's mission up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I got to make sure I'm good, I'm healthy, so I don't go around spreading something to my teammate to affect them and tarnish their mission. You want to talk about a guy that's trying to make a team. He also said how hard it was to learn his playbook.
All right, that's what I was going to bring up.
Go ahead, Nick. Take it, baby. Take it.
I mean, we've talked about this over and over again with guys and saying, receivers in general, how long it takes people to adapt to this playbook, right? And, we talked about it last year with Kendrick Bourne running some wrong routes, right? And we talked about it with Ayuk maybe not even being, who he can be in first 3 weeks, kind of like Deebo Samuel, where it took him he shined a little bit here, 1 through 3, but, really took off after Emmanuel Sanders got here, blah, blah, blah. But he literally said, look, you got to bust your butt, basically, in this playbook to learn these plays. Like this, it's you got to come here ready to work. Like that, to me, that just says he kind of was taken back by it. Like in my eyes, like he was like, this is like basically trying to say this is the hardest playbook I've ever tried to learn. Like, and that shows numbers because there's so much that Kyle can do.
Who said that?
Tavon Austin.
In the presser that he just did?
Yeah, he was talking about how hard the playbook was to learn.
When he was with the Rams, right?
Yeah, he said it's similar. He did say that. He said it's similar to the Rams offense as in speed, quick, timed offense. But the playbook here is really, you got to come to work to learn it. What? Why is that? Why that look, bro?
Because that's not what I took from his interview at all. When it comes to the playbook, he said they give you a lot of freedoms in the playbook. It's the way he made it sound like if you line up here and Shanahan wants you to end your route here, he doesn't care if you go up and over or over and up. Just get there when he said they give you a lot of freedoms to do what you want in the play. So I didn't take it as a hard playbook to learn. So it's just interesting your wording of an interpretation of what he said. I could be wrong, but that's what I took from it. He didn't say, I can run left or right, but he said they give you a lot of freedoms to do what you want. And I thought that was super weird because of everything else we've ever heard about the system was that it's tough to learn.
But in those aspects is the way I took it is, Kyle Shanahan wants you to run a specific route, but if the play has to extend, he wants you to be able to have that freedom to get open the way that you can get open.
Oh, you thought it was okay, I see.
So run the specific route. If the play breaks down, you have that. You don't just stay there. You can run a route to get open or take it inside or outside because he has so many route concepts. So he's on this play, You know, you've heard other receivers talk about it. Like,
I get you now. You're
this
talking
route
about
concept, I can go inside or I can go outside. It's my choice. That's the part where it's in the playbook, but you have to remember, can I break to the right on this or break to the left on this? Like, that's where I think he's saying you have a lot of freedom.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Those are option routes.
Yeah.
Which clearly the quarterback and the receiver better be on the same damn page.
Better be.
Remember our last argument about an option route?
Yep.
I do. Was Tony on the show for that?
No,
Tony wasn't here for the option route argument, was it?
No.
I remember it, but don't remember it in full detail.
Hey, Tony, let me ask you this question.
Mm.
During an option route, how does the route runner make his decision on which way to go?
Coverage.
Huh?
The coverage.
Thank you. Okay. That's what I thought.
When he's running the route, if there's a safety high, if there's a corner low, like it's coverage.
That's what Nick said. Yep.
That's what I said.
No, I said it determines on the safety and the coverage, and you said it depends on the corner and his coverage. You said nothing. You said it has nothing to do with the safety.
You said the whole field, and I said,
"Here we go, guys."
The corner that's on him.
It depends on what kind of route it is, where he's lined up in the formation. If he's out wide, it's on the corner. If he's in the slot, it's on the safety to the linebacker. It all depends on that.
It depends on the side of the field the safety's on, where he's located on the field.
I'll give you a perfect example. You know that wheel route that Justin, what the hell's his name? Wilson? What's his name?
Wilson Jr.
Jeff Wilson Jr. He runs. He don't have to break that off into the inside. He can keep going down the hash. It all depends on where that safety's sitting and where that linebacker sits.
But as a wide receiver, does it or does it not first start with the corner in front of you?
If you're on the outside, yes.
Okay. That's
so you both were right.
Right. Because that's what I was talking about. That's specifically what I was talking about. That because we were on.
It depends on depends on the coverage that
the George Kittle 4th and 2 option route.
That was an option route.
2 option route. Oh, versus the Saints.
Yes.
I don't know if that was an option.
That wasn't an option. He came across the middle of the
route. But that's how we got to that argument, right? We were talking about that play, and then it led to that argument. You're right. Okay. You're right.
Right, because we were asking George Kittle. No. I don't want to go back to this, but we were asking, can George? Never mind. We know what we were talking about.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Not tonight.
We Gucci. We Gucci. You see Nick's background. We all love the night, man. We good.
Yo, that show right there, Tony. Yo,
some vitriol. Oh man, and then the other show Tony missed. We argued about it's. Hey Tony, is George Kittle more than a tight end?
That was the same show.
Oh.
See, Mike don't even remember. That's how we got there.
Is he more than a tight end?
No. That's not the question.
No,
the
question that's my question to him now.
Excuse me, motherfucker.
I just want to know: is George Kittle more than a tight end?
Yes.
I'm out. Good, yo. Take care for prepare for glory, anticipate pain, but always remain faithful. They always listen to Tony. Nick.
But wait, how is he not more than? Wait, I don't understand.
No. That's not the original question. The original question was this, because we got into a heated argument, right? It was weird because it was like I don't know. I said that George Kittle we all said that his role was bigger on this team because we were talking about paying him. I think this was before he got his deal. Mm-hmm. And I said that George Kittle can line up and play just about any position they ask him, right? Mm-hmm. So wide receiver, whatever it is, because he puts up wide receiver numbers. Mm-hmm. And then that's when we got into this argument. And then Mike is like, no, because tight ends are supposed to do this, they do this, they do this, they do this, they do this, and they do this, but they do not line up on the outside. And then we got into this argument.
No.
Yeah. Nick, get back in here.
I never said they don't line up outside. Nick, this was just 2 shows ago. Like you said, it was just the same. It was well after
this. This was more than 2 shows ago.
No, this was just 2 shows. I promise you. Right, okay. Nick? Tell him, Nick.
It was there was 2 parts of it. So there was one show where Wayne's talking about with, before we paid Kittle. And then there was another talk about it because of how much he was being paid. You said that
right.
He did Niners wrong.
That was the follow-up show. Yep.
That was the follow-up.
I was talking about the most recent show, a show or two.
Yep. We broke down.
Nick said he's more than a tight end. And I said, no, he's not. He don't throw the ball. He don't kick the ball. Remember, I started running down the list of stuff. I said everything he does, he's a tight end, and he just does it at a high level. That's what my argument was.
My argument to you would be name one tight end that could take a jet sweep.
Any tight end that they throw it to that's fast enough.
They don't throw it. They don't
throw a jet sweep.
Hand off, dog.
It's a toss.
No, it's a handoff.
It's a handoff.
And they could do that shit with Travis Kelce. I'm sure he's done it.
No one's done it.
I'm sure he don't get any yards.
Travis Kelce hasn't taken a handoff. That's what y'all about to tell me?
A jet sweep?
I've never seen.
He's never done a jet. I've never seen a tight end before do a jet sweep. Never.
Here we go.
The show was crazy because this is why George Kittle got paid the money.
Were you guys talking about the team friendly deal?
So that was that.
He said it wasn't a team friendly deal. That George Kittle shouldn't be paid.
Double the
50% of what every other tight end's making. There's no other tight end in this league that has set the standard.
Hey guys, grab your popcorn, guys. We're gonna be here for another hour and 30 minutes.
Wait a second.
Look at it. The Eagles did a tight end jet sweep. Who was this? The Saints did it. Who is this? The Steelers. That's the Green Bay. Man, if y'all don't shut up, get out of here with that nonsense.
How effective was it though?
Let's see the
I
video.
don't know. That ain't the point.
That is the point. The point is, do they run it effectively?
And I said that George Kittle is the most effective tight end in everything that he does. Did I not say that?
You said that Kittle is the most effective tight end in everything that he does, but he's still just a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I got it.
And that's it. I'm not arguing tonight. We are woo-sawing. We are BLM tonight. We are all in one accord. The chakras are aligned right.
I got to go do my yoga, guys. Let's go.
That's right. It's 10:02. Man, look, guys, I had a lot of fun, and we still haven't got – we ain't talking about Fred Warner's presser. Breezy, you got notes?
I do got notes.
Tell me a player on your list of pressers that you got over there, and then I'm going to tell you one of my notes from their presser.
All right, we didn't talk about Jimmy Ward.
Okay, Jimmy Ward said that he thinks Jimmy Garoppolo is going to show everybody why he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL this year.
Hold on. He's not the only one that said that.
Say it, Nick. Say it, Nick.
He also said again.
Jinx showing me a
yes. Yes, in case y'all forgot, right?
Uh-huh. That was it. Because other than that, his press is boring as hell. But that right there, that's it. That's all we need from him.
I mean, he said some other stuff, but we talked about that at the very, very, very top of the show. He talked about some social injustice. All right, give me another player. And Tony, you were going to say something about Jimmy Ward's presser. What were you going to say?
No, what I was saying, he's not. Someone else said that about Garoppolo. Someone else said that. I heard it somewhere. I don't know who it was, but they said they're going to show Jimmy Garoppolo's going to stun everybody this year and finally earn the respect that he deserves. I forgot who it was though. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if they sign this guy tomorrow, we're doing breaking news. So just get ready.
If they sign who tomorrow?
Wayne, did you look at that video?
Which one?
The guy I sent you.
Jerron Brown. Jamon Brown.
Yeah,
or is it Jason Brown?
No, Jamon.
No, it's it's an M in there. It's
Jamon. With Jamon.
It's Jamon Brown. The receiver was Jaron Brown.
Got you.
Jar.
So you want to do breaking news to sign that guard center?
He's going to be signed tomorrow.
I hope he is.
There's a ton of guards and tackles.
You should see my notes for the last show. I have a note in here. I never write something like this. This is how I knew I was hyped. And I quote, "If the team signs Kevin White, I will lose my shit."
And you got to buy a jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. It's happening. As soon as I find out his number, I'll get
No. You got to wait till he make the team, though.
Yeah, don't be spending no money on no damn jersey now.
I'm not gonna let you do that until he's on the 50.
All right,
the 50.
Y'all looking the brother.
How many people we put on the practice squad? 16. So he got to at least make one of them.
Yo, and Mike talked about earlier on the breaking news. We cut a brown and added a white, bro.
I didn't mean it came out like it was true.
Bro, after you said it, you're like, oh. How do you say
yeah, I can't believe I said it. You sometimes you just say, like Tony earlier was like, he had 2 balls in his hand And then, like you don't know what they sound like until the words. That was me. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that now. Like it came out too soon. So
it was funny though.
Yeah. Laken Tomlinson, he did a presser, and he look at Tony looking up at me. Laken Tomlinson did a presser, and he had very, very high praise for Dan at center, Dan Brunskill. Mm-hmm. I thought that was super interesting because he's worked next to every center that we have ever had on this team. And for him to come out praising Brunskill the way he did, I think the team could be moving on from somebody else, man. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting.
It really depends on how Ben Garland comes back and how Tom Compton's doing at the other.
Don't even say his name.
Tony hates him, man. Y'all should have heard crap.
Bro, I'm telling you, that guy, Darian Daniels, the undrafted free agent from Nebraska, put him on his ass. Like, literally jacked him up and put him right back. Like,
right.
Dude, we need a starting right guard. Like, and that's why I hope they sign this guy tomorrow, because just from what I watched on that highlight, I know it's a highlight clip, but the guy actually broke down some of his film and his ability to get to the second level and cut off the crossing linebacker, even get to the safety on an outside run.
Right.
In my opinion, the way this guy came from Louisville, he was like a top 5 right tackle. And he coached with Charlie Strong, coached him. And when they got drafted in the 3rd round by the St. Louis Rams, he said, if this guy kicks in and converts to a right guard, he goes, you're going to have a solid player probably for 10 years. And I think he was a cap casualty because they drafted a young guy. They wanted to sign Dante Fowler. It cost money, and he was the one that was expendable. I think if he comes here, because listen, we live in the New York area, right? We watch the Giants. I work with a ton of Giant fans, and they were all mad. They weren't mad. They were like let down when this guy left.
Yeah, my dad and my brother are Giants fans, and you're right. I can vouch for that. They
so hopefully they can come to some type of terms. Let him get in there. I'm not saying hand him the job. Let him compete, and I'm pretty sure he's going to rise to the top. Now, as far as moving up, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what about the reports about McKivitz? So the question here from Michael Herr. We've heard positive reports, but it's really hard to hear negative.
Let them two compete. Let them two compete, because he reminds me of a Laken Tomlinson type guard.
Thank you,
this guy. It's because he's black.
That has nothing to do with it. Same statue.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Why? See, I'm
just kidding. I was trying to lighten the mood.
No, I'm serious though. He has the ability. If you watch that film that I said, I think I put it in the group chat. Just watch it.
We watched it. Well, I watched it. Yeah.
First 5-6 minutes, they show him consistently going from his right guard spot, punching the inside tackle, going all the way across and leading down the field. That's what you need in this scheme. So,
but why is there so many good reports coming out about Tom Compton?
Because
good.
Well, that's what I just said. It's hard.
Yeah, I've heard a shit ton of Tom Compton good.
I haven't, but that's good.
It's because it's hard to find. Let me ask you a question. How many negative reports about an individual player have you heard? See, the reports are going to come out positive about everybody, right, Breezy?
Right.
Like, it wasn't Jaquaski Tart struggled against Reed. It was Reed had 4 really good reps.
Yeah.
You're only going to hear a positive on whoever.
That's how they're spinning it.
Right. So if you hear that Solomon Thomas had a good day, it could possibly be against someone like Compton. Or when you hear Brandon Ayuk is really improving day to day, it could possibly be against a guy like Compton, but we're not getting that part of the story. That's all I'm saying. So you're going to hear the positives because that's how the reporters want to do it. They want to get those retweets and everything like that. But we cut off Breezy like 3 times. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I was going to, and this can allude to this, what you guys are talking about. Have we heard anything about the linebacker from Arizona?
You
mentioned him earlier, Tony.
Hi.
Joe Walker.
What's going on with Walker?
He's like a luxury guy. All right. He started in Arizona due to not having talent at the position, I guess you could say. He beat out
their first round draft
Riddick.
pick.
Was it Riddick?
He's not
Hassan
just
Riddick.
He's not just Hassan Riddick.
He beat him out. Who was the first round pick. He came over here. I think their intent to bring him in was to make him like a special team guy.
So he's gonna replace Mark the coach type.
I don't know what their plan is, but if he needs to start in a pinch for an injury or come on for if someone got a stinger, he needs a couple plays, you could throw him in there. But I don't think he's starting for 16 games, unless there's an injury or unless something happens. But he, in my eyes, is your special team ace. And if you look at our track record this offseason, we added all pieces that should upgrade our special teams. So, that's from my observation, but I think we addressed the depth on our special teams big time. Even losing DJ Reed, even losing Mostert probably to a gunner. I think we have people that could play those roles.
Who is Hyde?
What?
Kerry Hyde. Who is that? Didn't we sign somebody named Hyde?
Kerry Hyder's a defensive end. He played Detroit, Dallas, had his best year at Kocurek. Detroit. Now that's an interesting piece. That guy can kick inside and play outside.
But I haven't heard anything from him or about him since he got
here.
Are
you serious?
Have you guys heard stuff about him?
They had a big write-up on him.
Isn't that the guy they like? Isn't that one of the?
That's the guy that Kocurek likes, but I haven't heard anything.
Obviously, he's doing good.
Presser, the day he had his presser, one of the beat writers wrote a big article on him. How he's he's working well in a rotation. He's competing for a roster spot, but he's performing in camp. But I mean, listen, you don't know. Honestly, you saw the article that came out today. I put it in the group chat. Kongbo released due to injury. The team will be adding a defensive end. Yeah. Who the hell do you think that is?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's my man. But I
can tell you one name. It's not going to be
who.
Not going to be Clowney.
And it's not going to be Ziggy either. It's going to be somebody we familiar with. Hey, listen. Symmetry asked about Deion. Symmetry asked about Deion Jordan, and I heard he was Dookie.
Oh, so he's not. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's why he went from Miami to this team to that team to us and out the door.
I've heard he's been trashed.
He is your typical friggin' workout warrior, and that's it.
This comment here is in reference from Cali Boy. It's in reference to Tom Compton. Grant Cohn said he's trash, and he can tell when he's on the field because he's the one getting put on his back.
Tell.
There you go. Talking about Tom Compton. So, we've all heard the reports. It's just very interesting, man. Just my last couple of little notes here. One thing that I was really impressed with from 2 days ago worth of pressers was how the team flat out denied any interest at all in Earl Thomas. I know this seems like old news now because of how quickly things work on Twitter, but the Earl Thomas of the 49ers thing was not just heating up amongst the fans. It was causing arguments on Twitter. Hell, me and Breezy went back and forth through text on it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just something, but you heard from the head coach as well as the GM saying that there was just no interest in Thomas at all. We never picked up the phone. We didn't answer any calls about him. And then I have mentioned here, they even mentioned the competition behind the starters at that position. So they're happy about who they have on the roster here. Have only one-on-one reps for Jordan Reed, but they were very successful. Samuel still hopeful for week 1. Kittle talking about Jordan Reed. Kittle also talked about Charlie Warner. I have heard a lot of positive things about this guy. Nick, you're nodding your head. You've heard him too. What have you heard about this other tight end, Charlie Warner? I'm hearing that this guy, guys, it's almost time to put the key in there. He might be a lock. Charlie Warner is shining in camp. Nick, what are you hearing about him?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard Kittle, you've heard other people talk about it. Kittle mainly talking about, like I said before, it was with Toilolo was here and Selleck, right? So George is like, look, Selleck's one of my best friends, blah, 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 what he brought to the table on this team, blah, blah, blah. But Charlie Warner comes into this room. He's smart. He's physical. He reminds me of me type of thing when I first started in the NFL with his blocking, his physicality, the ability to catch the football, the way he runs routes. He stepped into this tight end room like, not saying anybody can replace these other guys, but he stepped right in and we haven't missed a beat. So, it's all good things about Charlie Warner right now. And, when Kittle is very animated, right? And we can all agree with that he's a very animated guy, but I think he tells the truth. Like, I think he is one of those guys that hold people accountable, right? And I believe that. So when George Kittle speaks a little bit about players, I tend to, at the tight end position, I tend to focus on him because he's really invested in the tight end position. He's all about tight ends, right? You've heard him talk glorious about tight ends all over the league. So when he spoke highly in regard to Charlie Warner, I'm like, damn, we might have something here, right? Mm-hmm. And when he went and physically said that, he reminds me of me when it comes to physicality and blocking and being able to catch the football and those type of things, that's big. That's big. I'm not saying we have another George Kittle on our hands, but look, he's learning from one of the better tight ends. He's going to suck that up. And if he's already got that skill set that reminds George of who George was when he came in the NFL, it's only going to get better.
Go ahead, Tony. No, I saw you come off. Go ahead.
No, I just went on mute. I'm good.
Oh, George Kittle also said that Charlie Warner at this stage is ahead of where George Kittle was as a rookie. Mm-hmm. He gave Charlie Warner a lot of praise. I don't know if it was motivation to try to boost up something, but you have to take it for what it's worth. When you, like Nick said in the same statement, you kind of put down your buddy to praise someone else. You got to take it at face value. It's one thing to just praise somebody and not mention anybody else, but when you do what he did, he kind of threw a little jab at his boy to uplift someone else. That holds a little bit more weight than just constantly praising everybody. So, I like that. That's the last thing that I have. Those were all of my notes. Breezy, did you have any more? I know that you had a couple of notes. You said you had pages of notes over there. Anything else?
I'm pretty good. I can't wait till we do our predictions. Who's gonna the 53-man roster predictions? Because that's gonna be very interesting.
So for this weekend, we have a couple of things that we need to settle. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up here. But this weekend, we have to get the following things from Nick. Nick was not the person on the show for our superlatives. So we have breakout guy, comeback kid, rising star, don't forget about, needs to rebound, dark horse MVP, under the radar, and sophomore sleeper. Here's the problem. We made a rule that you cannot repeat anyone's name. So
yeah, you were supposed to send me that information so I could do it.
Yes, I am copying it right now, and I am pasting it in our group chat. So that way you can see it. We will discuss that on our next show. I also have...
Did you put your guys in there?
Huh?
Did you put your guys in there?
Yeah, all of our names in there. Yep.
Okay.
Tony, we have to get your win-loss prediction. We went game by game to see how we thought this season was going to play out. I can tell you now that I had the team 13-3. Nick had us 13-3 as well. And Breezy had us 14-2. So I can't wait to do this exercise with all of you guys. So on the next show, we're going to catch everybody up. We're going to have everything locked in there so we know exactly where we are. And that's all I've got for the night. Those are my final thoughts. Fellas, the floor is yours.
I just can't wait to do this 53-man roster prediction. I can't. I just think the numbers are going to be all different for all of us. I think it'll be interesting, and I think we need to all do that. And basically, let's do a show on our 53-man. I don't think it's too early. We got 2 weeks left. So I think by sometime middle next week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, Wednesday, let's say, we should do that 53-man. That gives us, what's today? Thursday? So let's do next Friday, 53-man. That's a week and a half before the season. So
I'm with it.
It's time to do one. And maybe we'll have a couple special guys on. I know Steve Mullen said he wanted to do a 53. I think Brian said he wanted to do a 53. Maybe he's going to do a 53. Maybe we can get him on here as well.
And it's going to be time to start bringing some guests on. We're going to have the Cardinals guy from Fan to Fan Network on with us soon. So it's going to be time to start ramping up the guests and the behind enemy line segments again. We're going to bring it all back to you guys. More content is on the way. We are getting very close to the 10,000 mark also, guys. So keep spreading the word. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, man. So, all right, Tony, final thoughts, bro.
I'm good.
All right. Short and sweet. Breezy, no pressure, bro. The floor is yours. What you got?
Thank y'all. Good night.
All right.
With the mic drop.
I just Russell Simmons them, y'all. Y'all they don't even know who Russell Simmons. I just Russell Simmons, y'all.
And good night.
Yeah. God bless. Good night. That's what he says.
Okay. All right. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
Remain faithful.
we out, y'all.
Yeah,
Peace.